Good morning, Lagos, Nigeria, Africa, the world. Welcome. This is Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome to a refreshing Tuesday edition here for the show. Now, when life gives you Tuesday, once again, we always say that you just take it outside, show it to the sun, and make it glow all day. Thank you.
Zero.
Thank you.
You're on fire this morning.
I know, right? Born ready. Born ready. Thank you.
Of course, a new day comes with a new perspective, and I realize once you enjoy the present and don't put too much importance on your goals, you'll reach your goal much easier.
Yeah, take it easy. Life's not going anywhere. Well,
it says, put a smile on your face, no matter condition.
Is that a Lagbaja track?
Yeah.
I miss Lagbaja.
Oh, yes,
we should bring it back. We should, please. Let's get Lagbaja back, please. Now, hey, guys, remember now, this is the show that you need to get your day started for a Tuesday. You know it's the new Monday, sort of, because nobody does anything on Monday anyhow. But in any case, one person who's always ready for a Tuesday, Mr. Mike Mexicano. Yay!
Bring out the confetti.
How you doing? What do you say, man?
I said, bring out the confetti.
By the way, you guys slide me. I'm still going to take it out on you guys.
What did we do?
What did you do?
Friday, I'm still going to take it out
Oh,
on
God,
you guys.
Benny.
Did you see the video? Did you see the video on MM's page
I will
yesterday?
find a way to get back. But hey, come on, it's great to be here on a Tuesday morning. It was different. It's different from yesterday. The roads are not as chaotic, even though it seems like it will rain.
Yeah.
Not as chaotic as yesterday, but hey, the week is on. Let's make it happen.
Indeed it is. Even if it's still raining, actually,
Yes,
because it's
it
still
is.
drizzling out
Yeah.
there. Feels like you're in the UK. All of you that want to jackpot, at least now, this is what you guys want to jackpot to.
Yeah.
Enjoy it! An exciting 2 hours of pure entertainment coming your way. So, hey, get in your most comfortable positions, people, and make sure that you have your beverage with you. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am Email Kocha. Do not forget that you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms on the Breakfast Show on TV. Yes, you have our TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. People do not remember you can also watch the show live on Facebook.
Remember that now. Don't go anywhere. You just need your devices, and you have us on there.
Yeah.
Now that's GOTV channel 27 if you want to watch on TV, and of course UHF 49. It's that easy. And like she said, please make sure you follow all the social media handles at TVC Connect. Now, let's let them know what we have for Tuesday.
Today, yes. On health, we have Dr. Thomas Okpokboyan. He is a consultant orthopedic surgeon with core focus areas in joint replacement and spine surgery. And he'll be joining us later on to discuss arthritis and the form of arthroplasty.
Oh, thank goodness. I need him to check my check engine lights because my knees are, not what they used to be.
You're getting old.
Now, as Africa's first and largest Greek carnival blows up for its 10th edition, Ayodele Elegba, popularly known as the Dream Maker, famous for creating and writing some of the top comic book and also animation franchises in Africa, will be joining us here today to tell us more about the event.
And later on, we'll be talking about depression as we review annually Onwade's fame. But hey, we'll talk about that later on. And of course, on musical performance this morning, we have Afro-pop gospel artist Ilesomi David, and he'll be joining us to thrill us on his performance.
On parenting, we will be looking at child development in relations to education with Ochuke Prudence Daniel. She's a dynamic entrepreneur and also professional early child practitioner who holds global Montessori credentials. She's also the founder of Mama Hill Montessori School.
And finally on the show, we will discuss the top stories in the world of entertainment. And joining us later on is media personality, TV writer and filmmaker Miss Adako. She's got quite
a rap sheet, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Welcome, Tuesday edition here. Looking stunning as ever, of course. Yay! The crowd goes wild. Of course, YouTube. Now, something I discovered, there was this social experiment on YouTube. Only just yesterday, it was like making rounds. Now, I don't know how much you pay for items, especially luxury items, which is something you know plenty about. But it was discovered that people are actually just dishing out money just because of the sense of it being luxury. So what they did was they bought stuff, items from a very, very cheap store, took it to a luxury store, pretended it was a luxury store, and people actually started paying huge amounts of money. So it got me thinking, all these things that you see, because of the way they're presented to you, especially online, are you really paying the right amount or paying a bit too much? Why do you...
I wish I had more time because I really love this.
The discussion, right?
Because, people tend to value value most of the time is based on, in quotes, scarcity, and most times that scarcity is artificial. So you understand, there's 20 stuff around, you hide 19, and then you make one, say, oh, this is the only one in the world. Its value is unimaginable.
Yeah. Diamond, for instance.
You understand? And then I bring up money and all of that. It has, you know, it has gone through, this has happened all through time and all that. Luxury is all about how much of value people attach.
Sentimental.
A particular sentimental value people attach to a particular item.
Yeah.
So that's
I actually had one experience like so. So I tried selling off a car once, and instead of putting it regular market value, I actually put it higher. And I noticed that the kind of people who call were a different sort of people. They're not the, you know, not every, you know.
There are people who recognize value, and then there are people who don't, actually. There are people who would, like you said, I remember you making reference to what he said about attaching sentimental values to luxury items. There are some people who really do not care. They do not even know the value of those items, and they would misuse it.
Yeah.
So I think it is relatable, or yes, so
Relative, yeah, I get you.
Or relative, rather.
I get
Some people it is, some people it's not. So yeah.
We should have more time, but some other time we'll talk about it.
You're welcome. Tuesday morning here. My name is Mazino Appeal. This is the news. Now we're starting in Lagos, where the heavy rain has continued to cause flooding and also destroying buildings in many parts of the state. Earlier yesterday, the National Emergency Management Agency confirmed the rescue of 9 persons from a sinking building at number 47 Akiwumi Street, Maryland. The State Territorial Coordinator of NEMA, Ibrahim Farinloye, explained that, a quote here, the landlord of the building has been handed over to the police for failure to contact emergency responders when the incident happened. Other agencies who were on ground include the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, the State Fire Service, and Police Disaster Management Unit. Now, meanwhile, the landlord of the building that was alleged to have sunk in Lagos has described the report as fake news. Now, TVC News, Inioluwa Pupola, reports that the landlord claims there were no casualties as reported.
This is the building that was alleged to have sunk earlier today in Lagos. But a visit by TVC News crew to the area showed otherwise. Few hours after the report of the sunk building and rescue of 9 persons broke, the owner of the building has a different story to tell.
So what we have is a backlash on the canal moving into the street. As you can see, you are here live. There's no building sinking, no collapse and all that. I think as allegedly, because I've not confirmed that any of my tenants called, they need to do for us is to dredge the canal and then we'll be fine.
Although there were no residents in sight, an eyewitness says while the building is bent, it has been standing for about 14 years with no deficiency.
Surprised, we neighbors, we are surprised because we have been here for almost 14 years now. And that building bent, though it bent, and they have been like that for 14 years now. Just like normal Lagos flooding and but this one is we have natural disaster.
With the trend of floods, many fear that the rain may cause more damage to buildings in the area. At the moment, flood has taken over roads in the area, but residents say it is due to the blockage of drainage. Now they are calling for urgent attention from the government to avoid further losses. Inioluwa Pupola, TVC News, Lagos.
Now, King Charles III yesterday led his siblings as they held a vigil to their late mother at the St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. The monarch, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward bowed their heads with their backs to the late Queen's coffin in a process called the Vigil of the Princes. This rite has only been performed once at the funeral of the Queen Mother in 2002. Since it was first carried out in 1936 when King Edward VIII and his 3 brothers, Prince Albert, Henry and George, stood by the coffin of the late father, King George V. The Queen's children stood by the 4 sides of her coffin, which rested on a raised platform. Thousands of mourners have been lining up to walk around her coffin as she lies in state at the church in the Scottish capital. Earlier, the Queen's children walked behind the coffin of their mother through the streets of Edinburgh. Large crowds gathered along the Royal Mile and at St. Giles Cathedral, where mourners will be allowed to file past the late Queen's coffin from Monday evening until 3 p.m. on Tuesday. And that's it for the news. And of course, sports. Do stay tuned. It's still the start for the Tuesday edition here for Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be back.
Okay, it's time to take a look at the headlines of the dailies this morning. Let's kick off with News Direct, Nigerian News Direct here. And the major headline we have here, multiple registration. INEC deletes 1.1 million invalid registered voters. That's what we see there, the major headline on the front page of News Direct. And there is a picture story there. Okay, quite a number of people up there. Underneath, we see there 2023. Be wary of politicians seeking frivolous court injunctions. Abiodun tells the judiciary. Now, EcoBank Group appoints new CEO as Nigeria's Ade Adeyemi retires. FG inaugurates $200 million World Bank-backed ideas project. And now, that's talking about National Open University of Nigeria to host Maiden UN Day of Peace. That's in September. All of that on the front page of News Direct. And then from News Direct, we head on to Punch. And what we have here on the Punch. Let's see what we have here now. We have here, okay, boundary disputes worsen. Insecurity, 676 killed in states. That is the major headline there. The rider underneath that headline, 3 riders, 444 houses razed in communal clashes in Ebonyi, Kogi, Cross River, others. The federal government addressing 86 cases. Security experts, lawyers blame governors. And CAN, that's talking about the Christian Association of Nigeria, decries rising insecurity. And Senate promised 2023 jumbo security allocation. Jumbo. And then Lagos flooding. This is quite a very big one here. Rescuers recover 2 corpses and save 9. I think that was a story about the building, which we spoke about during the news. Quite a very sad one there. Strike. Students to barricade expressway carpets in Gige and Adamu. And gridlock traps Lagos Ibadan motorists, passengers for 16 hours. When did that happen? Oh my, would really check about that, but you can check out that story on the Punch. I would really want to check out this one. And that's what we can take on the headlines in the Punch. And then we head over to The Nation. And The Nation here, we have a PDP in distress, says Autumn. And what we can see here, Benue governor blames Atiku and Wike rift on leaders. Above the flag there, we have, pardon, I bear no grudge against anybody, says Nyame. INEC cancels 1 million voter registrations. JAM insists on no biometric, no examination policy. Scores killed as NAF jets hit terrorists' hospitals. Underneath there, we can see the president there as part of a picture story, and the chief of staff to the president, and of course, Foreign Affairs Minister Godfrey Oyema, and a host of others in that particular contingent. 2023, EU cautions politicians against hate speech and violence. APC campaign council accuses Obi of playing ethnic card. Okay, that's the picture story there. Quite very clear for you to see. All right, that's all that we can take on the headlines of the dailies this morning. One story I'll be checking out is 16 hours. What would happen? How would you manage 16 hours? Man.
Alrighty, it's only past 7. It's still the start of the Wake Up Show. And MM's got a very interesting story. Actually, a very sensitive one.
A very sad one, actually.
Yeah.
So yesterday, we got a very shocking post by the former Deputy Senate President's daughter, Sonia Ekweremadu, asking for kidney donation from the public, or begging, actually, literally. And this is few months after her parents are being charged for organ harvesting in the UK, London. It's a pretty sad story. I mean, it got everybody's attention because, I mean, she's basically had to drop out of school. You know, she can't further her studies. And she also clearly stated in the post that reasons her family cannot donate, you know, any of their kidneys to her is because, I mean, it's a she's got nephrotic syndrome. Even her dad is currently, you know, battling with a kidney disease.
Oh dear.
Yes, so it's a genetic illness. Ooh. So even the doctors advise that none of the family members can donate to her because, you know, it's in their genes already. It's a genetic disorder. So
that makes it all complicated.
Exactly, it makes it really complicated and a very, very, very sad one. And she also clearly stated to interested persons that might want to donate that there is no reward for it. It has to be out of compassion because, I mean, if you're doing this, it has to be out of, compassion for whoever it is that you're giving your kidney to. And so,
I mean, that was the issue in the first place.
that was, exactly, from the little boy, from the boy, young boy. He's 21, so he's a young boy.
Man. He's not a boy no more.
If it was in Nigeria, those are the extant laws in the UK. You cannot get rewarded for it. But in some other countries, people come and then they pay or they donate. They don't donate, they sell their organs. It depends on whatever. But because she is in the UK, that is not possible. Like you said, when it came up yesterday, right from when that story broke, different angles started coming in and we started hearing different things. At first it was angst that why should they, a 15-year-old, and then we started finding out that, look, this guy was
way older
15
than that.
and all of that. So, but the issue was that he was doing it for monetary gain, and the UK, the laws not allow that. So it wasn't like it was so...
Seems strategic, if you ask me, on his part.
So I felt very bad. And then now look at how the situation has degenerated too, where her family, and like I say, family is normally the first thing. We know the case of Idris Abdul Karim. The issue was not the donor, the issue was the operation, And then she says that because she's not entitled to NHS, yet because of her immigration status, the amount of money being...
But she's still in the UK, so that means this request is for people who are residents in the UK, isn't it? I mean...
Yeah, she's still in the UK.
I'm thinking if you wanted... It's still going to raise eyebrows.
Because, I mean, you still have to...
If you wanted to say, I'm in Nigeria and I want to...
from the goodness of your heart now.
But you want to imagine that it might be misconstrued, as in that's just a means for you to...
What if she can't get in the UK?
Well, that's the truth.
It's very, But I wanted to say, first off, it's very courageous for her to actually come out and ask. She doesn't have any option at this point. But to be in the eye of such a situation regarding your parents being charged,
parents still being
the case still ongoing, and you actually need this because it's your life is at stake here. I really hope that she gets the help that she needs.
I really hope
there was something else I wanted to touch on.
And
this is it. Regarding this illness, this
kidney disease,
it actually starts from somewhere. And it would be advisable that people actually get checked. There are different ailments that lead on to it. Things as simple as...
Chronic infection,
renal infections, hepatitis,
B and C.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Even bleaching creams.
Yeah.
Even bleaching creams.
Because
diabetes as well.
What happens is that your kidney actually helps with all of these, trying to
process it.
Cleanse your
cleanse
body.
Yes, it's a process.
So these are things that you really need to get checked real early, and hopefully, you'd find out that if anything is to be caught, you catch it.
I mean,
you'll catch it in advance.
Yeah, and it's quite alarming because according to reports, currently, that's reports this year, states that over 20 million Nigerians currently have it. And then the fee is between 20 to 50,000 daily for dialysis. So it's pretty expensive. And then with the power situation that we're currently dealing with, I mean, it just creates a lot more complications. But here, I feel that the health sector or the orientation agency needs to do something in creating that awareness for people to be more aware, and then things that they need not to do to prevent, a kidney damage.
Your habit is a big point here. Make sure that you have proper habits, and maybe you'd find that you can not fall prey to this. Well, that's all we can handle here inside of What's Up and About for Wake Up Nigeria. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way for a Tuesday.
Thank you for staying with us. We have health this morning, and our guest is Dr. Thompson. He's a consultant orthopedic surgeon with core focus areas in joint replacement and spine surgery. And today he has joined us. Where?
Am I on?
Yeah, it is. And of course, he has joined us to discuss arthritis and the triumph of arthroplasty. It is great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's explain the terms we're working with today. Arthritis, arthroplasty. Let's explain terms so that people can understand before we get straight into the discussion.
Yes, thank you very much. Arthritis simply means a painful joint.
A painful joint.
Simple joint. Simple
I like that. I like that. Simple answer. So to a layman, what is arthroplasty?
Arthroplasty is a surgical procedure done to replace the articular surfaces of joints that are affected by arthritis.
By arthritis.
Particularly severe arthritis.
Now, you spoke about severe arthritis. Let's talk about the rate. What's the percentage of infection when it comes to arthritis? Because I know quite a number of people, it's something that is quite common. Do you have any figure or something as to what's the percentage of people, maybe adults or something, that are infected with arthritis?
Well, I wouldn't use the word infected.
Okay.
I'll use afflicted.
Afflicted, all right.
Yes. Although infection can be a cause of arthritis, which we call septic arthritis, tuberculous arthritis, such disease can cause arthritis in the long run. But those afflicted by arthritis, majority of them, due to senility, longevity of age, wear and tear, those who have had injuries in their joints in the past, elderly individuals, those who have problems with probably crystallization in their joints, causing inflammation of those joints. Yes, they have arthritis. And it's quite common, actually. I'm sure in almost every household in Nigeria, a family member, loved one, has arthritis.
Arthritis.
Yes.
Is it something that can be prevented?
It can't really be prevented because by nature, the cartilage, which is the plastic covering over the ends of the bones forming the joints, actually, we humans can't rejuvenate the cartilage. So they kind of wear off.
They wear off with time, yeah.
So as long as we live long enough on this world, we'll definitely have arthritis one way or the other.
Now,
one or two people may be free of it. I won't say it's an absolute, but yeah, most of us will definitely have.
What part can exercising play in all of this? Can it delay it, or maybe
It's both ways.
Okay.
Regular guided exercises can actually prevent onset of arthritis.
Okay.
Because motion of the joints actually nourishes these joints and makes them healthy.
Okay.
However, excess exercises, excess sports can also lead to increased wear of those joints.
Of those joints, exactly.
That's why you see sportsmen are heavily paid.
Yeah, they are. Exactly. In fact, there's the Nigerian Sadiq Kumar who just tore his ACL, and that's like 6 to 9 months and all of that. Yeah. Now we talk about where does arthroplasty and all of that. How does it work when it comes to helping people with arthritis?
Well, arthroplasty. Why I feel arthroplasty is a triumph in the face of arthritis is the fact that just over 100 years ago and all the way back to time immemorial, mankind had been afflicted by arthritis.
Okay.
And many of them live out the rest of their lives with this kind of condition, miserable, with pain, incapacitated, deformities, dependency on others. So you can name it. It's quite a challenging disease, particularly if one is suffering it or you're taking care of someone who's suffering it. That's the only time you tend to appreciate the impact this has on
the human life,
on humankind. Arthroplasty, about less than 100 years back, has kind of been perfected in such a way that those with severe disease can have surgeries and have their life back again. And they can go back to walking, independent walking, back to their lifestyles, whatever it is they were doing. Sometimes even going back to sports.
So you mentioned something that those joints were of, those arthroplasty, is it like it gives you, does it put new material there?
Yes. We're going to put synthetic materials there.
Okay.
But they are like inert materials that can stay long in the body without causing any form of reaction.
That would mean that
decades.
That would mean that such a procedure would be expensive. It wouldn't be very easily accessible.
Unfortunately, yes, it's expensive. Anywhere in the world you go to. Arthroplasty is a very expensive procedure. Let alone in Nigeria, where we depend on bringing these implants in.
Okay.
And on Forex and all of stuff.
And all of that, exactly. Wow. So, if untreated, what are the worst things that could happen in the body? When
untreated, arthritis, well, as I said earlier, pain. Every day you want to get out of the bed, you're in pain. You want to put on your shoes, you're in pain. You're thinking of how to make your steps every day of your life. So it can really be a big toll. Arthroplasty it's a surgery that is done in a safe manner. Patients are actually checked properly to be sure that they are actually suitable for such procedures. And once done, usually by the next day, they start to walk again.
For people who can't afford it, is there any way to manage the pain?
Yeah, arthroplasty is actually meant for severe diseases.
Okay, for severe.
It's never a first stop treatment. No, never.
Oh, okay.
We start with medications, physiotherapy. We can give injections into the joints.
Into the joints.
Some have used acupuncture.
Okay.
And all of that. So, yes, to try and help alleviate the pain. Lifestyle modification is also very important.
Okay.
Someone with a knee arthritis living on maybe a 3-story
third floor,
yeah,
exactly. You have to come down and over. Worst case scenario, what will happen? Would the joint be unusable entirely? Would mobility be?
Arthritis can be quite bad. Patients can be severely incapacitated. In fact, I remember a patient of mine who I treated a while back, some years back. She had a complex knee replacement on the left side, in which the joints were just wobbling around.
Wow.
So there was no ligamental structures to actually
support that joint. Even just saying it now, I'm trying to picture what you're saying.
Yeah, so we had to do a replacement for her, which was a complex type of replacement. And then the right was also very bad. And she had, a year after, a replacement on the right side.
Wow.
And I made her to walk after about 6 weeks from the whole procedure and everything.
From the whole procedure and everything.
And when I asked her, when last she walked, she said 11 years.
Ago. Wow. So let's give some hope, because this is quite a bit, but like you said, it can be, because with age and all of that, there are things that also affect and will come on. Best case scenario, how best can one take care of himself or herself in such a way that maybe you can delay it for as long as possible?
Yes, very beautiful question. First thing first is to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
Maintain a healthy weight. Because the more
weight on the joints
you have, the more weight on the joints. Also to avoid sports that may predispose you to having such arthritis coming in early. High-impact sports. Now, I'm not advocating we shouldn't have sports.
But I understand you, yes. High-impact sports.
High-impact
They
sports.
do have their own.
Yeah, those who have bad knees already kind of like step down on running, jogging.
I saw someone
harsh on the knees.
I saw someone doing pole vault on sand.
Pole vault on sand.
Yeah, and he just stick the pole and then jump, and then there was no foam, to cushion the fall, and then landed on his legs.
Nigeria?
I'm telling you. I saw a video, it was like 2 days back.
That's crazy.
And you know the impact that will have when you land on the joint, and that's what you mean. All right, thank you very much, Doctor. This was quite an educative session, and I hope people out there were able to pick up something and, give themselves the best chance against arthritis.
Of course.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's head over to the kitchen, Hope you're able to pick something there, but I know you have something in store for us.
Oh, you have no idea, Mike. You have no idea. Learned so much from that discussion. Thank you so much for the enlightenment. Yes, with me in the kitchen is Chef Sammy, and we are making spicy chicken fusilli stir fry. I know, it's quite a mouthful. Hands are spread here on the table, as you can see. You're welcome, Chef Sammy.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. And you?
Great, great, great. Oh, now I remember you. Now I remember you. You are the one who is very, very, very intricate and detailed with your ingredients. Okay. Now let's get right into our ingredients. So what are we working with?
Well, I'm here to make spicy fusilli stir fry.
Yes.
And this dish, those are the recipes of the dish. Very easy.
Okay, let's start from
and
here.
I have my olive oil. Because I have to start, there's a step in cooking. So I do the analyze by the
Go ahead.
There's a step in cooking. Here I start with my olive oil. Olive oil, this olive oil, I think it works for, it reduces heart problem and also fight depression. And sometimes it also works for, it clear earwax.
Oh, yeah. Very good for earwax. Yeah.
And I have my Scotch bonnet here, which all know Nigerian call it atarudu.
Yeah.
Scotch bonnet. And Chinese call it pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. You're learning something, guys. I hope you're paying attention. Go ahead.
Scotch bonnet has a medicine property, such like pain treat, and also very good for the cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Here I have my red cabbage.
Okay.
Red cabbage called Chinese call it radicho.
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 Good.
And it treats ulcers and also prevent cancer.
Okay, okay.
And here I have my fresh basil. It sharpen memory. It sharpen memory and also fight against, also cure dental health and also cure fever. Wow, broccoli. Broccoli is very good, mostly for the ladies. Yeah, broccoli helps you to look young. It detoxify your system and helps the ladies in pregnancy.
All right. I'm going to eat a lot of that. You can be rest assured.
And here I have my fresh tomato here. It improves vision and very good for the skin.
Yeah, very good.
Like we all know, onion enhances the brain and the eye health.
And it's got really good.
And this is red bell pepper. Lower in cholesterol.
Okay.
Lower in calories and fat. And also boost immune system.
All right, so let's head right to our seasonings.
Okay, here I have the salt. Like we all know, salt control blood sugar.
Yeah, but then too much of it is not good for you.
Yes, it's control, excess of it is bad. It's control blood sugar. And at the same time, promote better sleep. And at the same time, it cure headache. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Cure headache.
Great.
And also great for the eyes.
Yeah.
And I have my fresh thyme, which all knows it works for sore throat.
Okay.
Dry thyme, work for sore throat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it works for sore throat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dry thyme, dry rosemary, oregano.
They're good for your sore throat.
Good for your sore throat.
Okay.
And we have my fusilli pasta here. We all know fusilli. Pasta is it sustains energy, so and it's very, very easy to digest.
Yes.
And at the same time, it's a balanced diet. While garlic is an effective painkiller. Effective painkiller and also cure. Yes.
It also helps to boost your immune system as well.
Because it has immunity.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah. So I think then a chicken.
And the chicken is a good source of protein. It boosts muscle.
Yeah.
And keeps the bone healthy.
Yeah, I mean, so we have like our vegetables, which are rich in vitamins. We have our chicken, protein. We have our garlic. And then we have our fusilli pasta to just balance up the meal. Fantastic. So let's get right into it.
We have to drop the water.
Of course, you cannot use...
Water improves circulation.
Yeah, of course.
And also work for headache directly.
Fantastic.
When you have headache, go direct to cold water.
Chef Sammy, you are fantastic. Let's just get right into the meal. So what are we starting with? I see that you're already cooking up our water.
Yeah, I have to boil the pasta. So yeah, before you drop the pasta inside the water, I have to boil. Because you need the pasta to be al dente.
Okay.
You need perfect cooking.
Oh, great. Yeah. We are making spicy chicken fusilli stir fry. And on your screen right there are the ingredients. If you missed out on it earlier on, I know Chef Sammy can be quite a mouthful, but it's important that you know and then you are educated on what you're using to cook, right? We have to go on a quick break now, people. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit. Stay with us.
And you're welcome. This is going to be a very exciting discussion here as the Africa's first and largest geek carnival blows up for the 10th edition Ayodele Elegba, popularly known as the Dream Maker, famous for creating and writing some of the top comic books and also animation franchises in Africa, has joined us here to talk more about the events. You are welcome, Mr. Elegba.
Thank you.
What was that again? Remido?
Remido. Elegba.
Elegba.
Means the savior.
The savior. That's beautiful. That in itself is actually content for comic work, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have enough superheroes.
Yeah, there's a character I created also titled with that name, and it's coming out soon, yeah.
That's beautiful. Welcome. The 10th edition Lagos Comic-Con this Saturday, isn't it?
Yes, this Saturday, 17th, at Landmark Event Center.
Wow, fantastic. How big has it grown over the years? Where was the start point, however?
Wow, the start point began with a meager 300 people. That's 10 years ago. And we've been able to grow it from that to we had about 6,000 last year.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are profiling like 10,000 this year. Hopefully, the turnout will be there.
So that's a big community of people that not everybody's aware exists inside of Nigeria. I mean, there are comics, and we all enjoyed them growing up in the 80s. We all used to get beat in school because we used to bring comics to school and all of that. But I never thought that it was something that's that deep in our society. But obviously it is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I actually began Lagos Comic-Con because everywhere I went, people said, does comic exist in Nigeria? Do people actually read comic books? And I know people read comic books in Nigeria, but there's no platform for people to actually be themselves and showcase themselves. I have people 50, 55 in banks and, you know, in corporate world who still read comic books and they are passionate about it. They come to Lagos Comic Con and they feel at home because, you know, it's like one big family.
Yeah.
Everybody's together. The excitement, the energy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I can imagine. I'm definitely going to try and be there for this one because I've always wanted to. But I think at one time it was held in Unilag, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. We held it in several sports. Landmark, Unilag, so many places that we've actually...
Now, let's talk about the content inside of Nigerian comics. How is it growing? Is it growing in such a way that it actually puts Nigeria out there as a hotspot for these creations, these ideas, these content? How big is it going, and is it being seen internationally as a force to reckon with?
You know the exciting thing is that, I don't know if you heard about the Kugali and Disney deal.
Oh, tell me about it. Oh, yeah, I think I have.
Yes,
indeed.
Disney picked the first African... Coincidentally, those comic book guys, you know, they actually, you know, started their career, as it were, from Lagos Comic Con.
Whoa!
Yes. They took their first stand at Lagos Comic Con, and now they are big guys, you know, moving around, you know, with Disney and the likes. So I think one of the things that Lagos Comic Con has done is it has helped the young creatives to have exposure. You know, before then, people were like in their homes just doing their stuff.
Yeah.
But now you can come to Lagos Comic Con and be discovered. You know, you never know who you will meet. You know, so right now, when Lagos Comic Con began 10 years ago, we didn't have creatives working abroad or working in companies like Netflix or Disney. But right now, many people are being commissioned from foreign countries to actually outsource their work and have their stuff done. So now we have many young Nigerians earning forex, you know, just by just making comic books or making animation or just designing characters for games.
I can see some of the pictures from, I think, which event was this?
Yeah, this was from last year.
Last year's event. Now, that's very interesting because I can see a bit of cosplay there.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about cosplay. I did not think that is something that we do here.
Yes.
I don't know if people are going to think I'm a nerd if I ever, you know, got excited and ordered for, you know, regalia or some sort and walked into a place that I'll be seen as, what's matter with this one? But I'd feel comfortable at Comic-Con, wouldn't I?
Exactly. We have people your age dressed in cosplay and just moving around, feeling excited, you know, not feeling shy or feeling like, oh, I'm out of place, you know. And this year we have, once again, a cash prize, you know. So
for the best one, eh?
For the best cosplay. So if you are dressed in the best cosplay, you get to go home with some good cash.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm so thinking of a Spider-Man, but I have never seen a Spider-Man with a pot belly. No, Mike, there was a Spider-Man with a pot belly, wasn't it?
Yes, the one jumping on the street.
Yeah, no, there's what's the Spider-Verse, inside the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is the Spider-Man.
The older Peter Parker.
Yes,
he had a pot, so I can do it.
You can make it.
But see how excited I am about this. I can only imagine what the energy is like, will be like there for the 10th edition on Saturday. But what more should people look out for?
Well, people should look out for the gaming. There's going to be, we're partnering with Gamer. You know, it's one of the big gaming companies here. They are coming with the gaming sets. We'll be having cosplay. We'll be having virtual reality. We'll be having laser tag. We'll be having book reviews. There's a monologue challenge for actors.
Okay.
You know, they'll be having a monologue challenge to win prizes and win movie deals as well.
Okay.
There's an animation challenge that you can actually win an animation deal to have your animated content produced, you know, by Spoof Animation, which is one of our partners as well.
I know Spoof.
Yes. So there's a lot, and I think that's what makes Comic-Con exciting. It's not like any event anyone has ever been to. It's a jamboree. It's a collection of so many things happening together. Over 100 speakers and facilitators will be organizing and be talking to us, you know, at Lagos Comic Con this year.
Fantastic. Okay, so you mentioned movies, and the translation or adaptation of these material into movies is something that I would like to see in our Nollywood. I don't know how much influence Comic-Con has had on Nollywood yet, but I do know that there are certain movies that have gone on that are, you know, sci-fi related, sci-fi origin. And I'm wondering how much more influence we can expect to see when it comes to comics being adapted into movies, and Nigerian superheroes. I think Shango should actually be one of the greatest superheroes we have, but I don't know if anybody's doing anything about that because that guy's thunder.
Shango has... coincidentally, let me just mention that Ni Akimolayan was at the first ever Lagos Comic Con.
Yeah.
He was a young guy, first director, just trying to break into the industry. And look at where Nia Kimola is right now.
True.
And I'm grateful that he's also doing his stuff. He's also improving, and he's doing some very good work. You know, talking about Shango, there's also, we'll be premiering the first exclusive. There'll be an exclusive showing by Spoof Animation of their Ajaka Lost in Rome, which is like a Shango adaptation, you know, about the fourth king of Oyo, you know, and how he had a brawl with his brother Shango. It's going to be exciting. We'll be premiering it exclusively at Lagos Comic Con, so people should come and see that. So it's Lagos Comic Con has really helped so many young people. I can mention names. James Omoikwe began his journey from Lagos Comic Con. He was there at Lagos Comic Con, the first one with his Awakening, and now he's doing great stuff everywhere.
That is definitely something to look out for this weekend. So I'm thinking that I'm going to make my arrangements to actually be there. It's going to be fantastic.
We're giving away tickets. Okay, so tickets for your fans if they want to come. So
that'll be great. Yeah. First my family, then my fans.
No, your fans first.
Well, thank you very much for that. Like, it's fantastic to have you here. And this excitement, I want to see more of it on Saturday. I'm looking forward, and I hope that everybody out there is also looking forward to this Saturday for the Comic-Con. The 10th edition is going to be fun. And hey, MM, are you thinking of bringing the girls, maybe, you know, start their career in comic books or maybe superheroism?
Well, it sounds exciting. I think the kids are definitely going to love this one. But hey, interesting discussion there. Here in the kitchen with me is Chef Sammy, and we are making spicy chicken fusilli stir fry. I know, sounds yummy, right? Great. Yes, Chef Sammy, take it away. Let's talk about the ingredients and right where we are.
Okay. Like I explained earlier, I have all the recipes here, and I have to just execute easily.
Okay, great. Let's just mention the ingredients.
This is chicken breast. This is fresh basil. This is broccoli. And this is red cabbage. Okay. I have my salt here. I have my seasoning cube, fresh thyme, dry thyme, red capsicum, red onions.
Please, red capsicum, that's pepper.
That's pepper, yeah. They call it capsicum.
Yeah.
Culinary terms.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
That's culinary terms of capsicum.
Great.
Okay, then I have my carrot here, and I have a tomato chopped into concassé. I need to make it concassé.
Concassé.
Okay. Like tomato sauce, like pomodoro.
Oh, like a gravy.
No, a gravy is called espagnol.
Oh, so okay. Okay. You see, I'm also getting educated. There's so much you can learn here in the kitchen right here with our chefs. Interesting, right? Great. And Mike is somewhere lurking around, making funny noises. Okay, great. Now that, what's going on over there?
Yeah, I need my pasta to be cooked. Yeah, al dente.
Al dente?
Al dente.
Okay.
6 minutes the pasta should be cooked.
6 minutes?
6 minutes,
okay,
yeah,
guys.
to cook fusilli.
So you need to pay attention. If you're cooking your pasta, you need to set your time.
There's a timer. Professional cooking, there's a timer in the pasta, Italian kitchen where they do with pasta and pizza.
Okay, so 6 minutes past our fusilli pasta is ready, and then what do we do next?
Then after the 6 minutes, I have to bring my pan and execute. Start from the chicken.
Okay.
The Scotch bonnet to take the spiciness in the chicken because it's all spicy chicken.
Okay. So can we do that already? So that
yes. Why this one is on? Then we have to take it off here.
Okay, because it's really hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's quite hot. Yeah. If you're just joining us, people, with me is Chef Sammy, and we are making spicy chicken fusilli stir fry. Quite a mouthful, I know, right? But the kids are definitely going to love this, especially now the school has resumed. Gives me an idea. I think I'm definitely going to make this for the kids tomorrow for breakfast. Yes, and on your screen right there are the ingredients. If you missed out on it, we have your salt, garlic, carrot, broccoli, olive oil, red onions, fresh basil, fusilli pasta, red cabbage, red capsicum, that is our red bell peppers, chicken breast, fresh tomatoes, and our seasoning cube. Fantastic. Is pasta al dente?
Yeah, al dente.
Oh, it's ready. Fantastic. We are about to make our stir fry, right?
Yeah.
While you strain our pasta. Right?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so, well, it's Chef Sammy that's at work here, not me. I'm just here to assist. I'm with his sous chef, not practically working with any ingredients, but just, you know, commenting on on the recipe. So what are we doing next quickly?
So here I start with the olive oil.
Okay. You could also use vegetable oil, guys, right?
But olive oil is very good.
Yes, it is really healthy as well.
It's very, very healthy. Very, very healthy.
Okay, so what's happening
After the olive oil,
Add our chicken. I see that you did something with the chicken. You want to tell
I
us what you
seasoned the
did there?
chicken with salt, salt and seasoning cube. We take the chicken flavor.
Just marinate it.
Yeah, it's marination. Wow. The chicken, your oil must be hot before you drop the chicken. Yeah, so it will start cooking directly. Because your oil is not hot, the chicken will absorb oil and they will mix up within oil and the chicken.
Chef Sammy, cooking with you is such a delight. I mean.
Can I lower this small for you?
Okay, so let's reduce heat a bit.
That will cook under low temperature.
Low heat. Okay. Low or medium heat?
Medium is fine.
Okay, great. Okay, so what's next?
Yeah, and the chicken must cook. There's no raw
chicken. So once that is cooked enough, what's going in next? Let's just explain the process.
Yeah, followed by the onion, followed by the pepper.
Okay.
Then from the pepper, I take the carrot, I put the carrot to take the tender texture. I add my broccoli to gas out the acidity in the vegetables.
Okay.
Then for me, I use my red cabbage, then other red capsicum.
So basically, all of the ingredients go in, but it has to be done with precision. It has to be done with, some little bit of...
There's step in cooking.
Chef Sammy, I'm with you on this dish. I am absolutely with you. All right, guys, I hope you are following and paying attention to everything that's happening here in the kitchen. Not just here in the kitchen, but also here on the show. It's the top of the hour, guys. The next 45 minutes is going to blow your mind, so you better not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Does that promo montage not make you want to dance?
No. Actually, it does.
All right, the first 1 hour has gone, and I hope you savor every single moment here we have left with you, because the next less than 45 minutes, I don't think it's enough time to do what you subscribe for.
It's never enough time. 45 minutes is such a little time, but at least it's something that you woke up to, just in case you woke up late. We always fix this 45 minutes just for you. We're making everything that you could, take with you as you set about your day. So welcome to the second half of Wake Up Nigeria for a Tuesday. Thank you very much.
Of course, we smell something scrumptious.
Yeah.
It's literally taking Mazino's breath away.
Literally, actually, very, very true. I mean, our chef is hard at work.
Chef Sammy is...
After the cooking is the art, and I saw him doing some little artwork there on the plates just before the plates.
Is too much.
Really very beautiful desk there. It's very neat and everything. I love it. I love it. In any case, my name is Mazino Appeal.
I am Emil Co-Chair. Do not forget to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television. Yes, we said it.
You bet. Definitely
you can take that to the bank.
You also want to remember that you can watch the show live from absolutely anywhere. All you need is the mobile app, and you can download that if you're on Google or iOS. It's available and it's for free.
Yeah, you can also watch us on GOTV channel 27 and on UHF channel 49. We also implore you to please follow us. Well, we're saying it with pride, but a little bit of, just a sprinkle of, please follow us on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect.
All right.
What do we have left?
Next 45 minutes, we still have content for you guys. We still have Anuli Owadi joining us to talk about depression as we review her film Deep. Now, a story of a young man self-burdened by his idea of being a man, which entails bottling his struggles from even his own life. And this is something I think a lot of us
people deal with.
Yeah, we're dealing with that. So let's look out for that one.
Right after that, we have a musical performance for you guys, and it's, of course, Afro-pop gospel singer Ilesami David. Can't wait to have him on with us.
On Parenting today, we will be looking at child development in relations to education with Ochuko Prudence Daniels. She's a dynamic entrepreneur and also professional early childhood practitioner who holds global Montessori credentials. She's also the founder of Moma Hill Montessori School.
And finally, joining us on the couch to discuss the top stories in the world of entertainment is media personality, writer, and filmmaker Miss Adaku. She creates content around the Lagos lifestyle and people with the goal to reach existing misconceptions about Lagos City. Quite an interesting lineup of entertainment stories we have.
Exactly. You guys are going to love this one. Stay tuned.
They're going to love it. You are all going to love it.
Yeah. So stay tuned. It's great 45 minutes to come.
In 2017, according to WHO, Nigeria was ranked the most depressed African country. So you can imagine, why there's so much focus on depression and, there's a need for people to deal with it. And, know when and how to identify depression. And joining us, of course, is Anwule Onwade. She'll be talking about depression. Of course, we'll be reviewing her film, Deep, story of a young man self-burdened by his idea of being a man, which entailed bottling up his struggles from his own life. And of course, we also have the main character in the short film, Iche Fuego. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you both here.
Thank you.
Now tell us, the movie or the short film, Deep, did it come from a personal experience or some experience around someone? What inspired it?
I've not had any experience about depression, but people around me.
Okay.
So I've heard people talk. I get close to a lot of guys, and you hear them saying things, oh, I can't really say this thing to anybody because of what people will say. So I'm opening up to you because of how we are. I don't want to hear it anywhere. So I felt it was something, let me tell people, you need to talk to somebody. Because if you bottle it up inside, it might lead to something that is not supposed to be. So I just needed to tell the story. Yeah.
Okay, is this your first film?
This is my first film.
First film.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, what made you cast Iche for this role?
Okay, Iche has been my friend since 2016.
Okay.
And we started in the industry 2017.
Yeah.
Yes. I got my first role 2017. He got his 2017. So,
okay.
And we've been moving, trying to succeed and all that. So when I wrote the script, I sent it to him, because he's my friend.
Yeah.
I sent it to him. He reviewed. He told me some things to touch, and I was like, "Yeah, I think you're the best person to actually do this for me." And first off, you will not take too much money from me. So I think, and I feel he has been through a lot. He's one of those friends that that comes to me and really see. So I think you can tell the story better.
All right. So Iche, what was it about this character that spoke to your interest, in playing the role?
So as soon as I saw the script, I wanted to do it, even without being asked. I think just like you said, mental health is something that we don't really take that serious. We don't really pay attention to. And it's because of the way, it's basically what we've seen growing up. The idea is, as a man, you're supposed to handle everything. The mantra of being a man is that you don't show weakness. And so when I saw the script, the idea behind it, you can see it's almost a silent film. It's a lot of acting and a little bit of voiceovers. So I was intrigued by the idea of the whole thing, and to tell the story in such a way that people would relate to it, because it's real life. Men go through a lot that they can't necessarily talk about. Not because they can actually, but the idea is they don't want to show that vulnerability. And it's a lot of backstory as to why they don't want to show it, which if we start talking about, we'll take all the time. But in a nutshell, that's it.
Now, let's talk about some of the moments. We'd like you to share some of your moments, your personal moments. I mean, because you played this role. And was there any time or any moments that you could relate with, that made you give your best in the character?
First of all, say no to domestic violence. I don't beat women, but basically, not particular moments, but the general idea, which is the fact that no matter how little it is, that you have to speak. I generally have that flaw. It takes a lot for me to tell you that this is what is going on. I believe in solving my own problems myself. So being in that place where I was playing exactly the same thing I go through all day. Like, it might not have been losing a job or anything, but the fact that this is really the reality of not just me, but I think a lot of men,
of other people,
especially in Africa today. So, yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about your response, since this short film. What kind of response have you garnered, from it? Yeah.
Okay, first off, when I uploaded the trailer, a lot of persons, oh, Anwule, oh my goodness, lady of the moment, this one, all of that, yeah. So I was excited. I was scared, yeah. Just to do the trailer. What if I put out this film and people don't like it? So I uploaded it, and the response was crazy.
Wow.
Honestly, I was so excited. I was grateful to God. This is the first step, and hopefully we'll do more.
All right. Now let's talk about the lessons.
Okay.
Because I know it's... So, yeah, you have, created that awareness for this is what it is. Now let's talk about the lessons you are, teaching people through your short film. What's that message that you're passing across to people watching this short film, telling them about depression?
Okay, so when you are going through stuff, talk to someone. Don't bottle it in. Because at the long run, you might just lash out on somebody unnecessarily. Do you understand? Talk to somebody. It will help solve the issue. Even if they don't solve it entirely, something will come out of it. So just talk to someone, definitely. Yes, and don't beat anybody, actually.
All right. It's so great to have you guys here. Thank you for sharing your journey with us, for sharing your experience with us as well. And, well, like you've heard, say no to domestic violence. And if you're going through depression, please talk to someone. We have to go on a quick break now, people. We have our musical performance coming on shortly. Stay with us. Guys, if you are not tuned in, you are missing. Yes, of course, we have to head over for some parenting discussions, which, of course, happens every Tuesday here on the Wake Up Nigeria show. And we will be looking at child development in relation to education with Ochuko Prudence Daniels, who is a dynamic entrepreneur and professional early childhood practitioner who holds global Montessori credentials and is the founder of Mama Hill Montessori School. You are welcome to the show.
It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure having you here, especially now that school has resumed. Yes. Now let's talk about child's development. Okay, so my second daughter, Eliana, officially resumed school yesterday. Wow. Yes, and I'm very, very curious about her, the role of education in her development as a growing child. So let's start from the basics. What are the things that a parent should look out for in that regard?
Okay, so the whole of childhood, that's from age 0 to 12, a child is engaged, working, developing himself. We call it self-construction. Maria Montessori actually put it in a beautiful way, that, the work of a child is to construct themselves, and that's from age 0 to when they become, when the childhood period ends at age 12. And during this self-construction, there is the conscious part and there is the unconscious part. So sometimes the child doesn't know what he's doing, but is actually constructing himself. And there are clear lines.
Constructing based on the things that they see. And
constructing, so they are forming their personality. They are forming who they would be as adults. And it starts from when they are born. So in that, the construction work of a child, the conscious phase is from age 3, above 3 to like 12.
Okay.
Now, the major part of the work happens before age 6. And that's why, for education, I would say every parent and educator should be aware that these clear lines of development should be followed so that the child can be helped in terms of development. When those clear lines of development are followed, the child easily learns without struggling. So there are things the child ought to do between the age of 0 and 2, between the age of 2 and 3, 3 and 6, 6 and, so all of those things, if the knowledge of it helps an adult to support a child in the right direction.
Okay, so what are these clear lines that, should be followed?
So, for example, you have the cognitive aspect.
Okay.
You have the language development. You have the gross motor and the fine motor development. You also have the social and emotional development. And a knowledge and awareness of these developmental stages actually helps you as an adult to support your child. So, for example, exposing your child to relationships, social relationship, exposure, going out, making friends, working with, smiling. So a child of 6 months can smile, but you find some children who don't even know what's smiling. You know, they are all so serious. That's because their environment impacts on them. So the way we see education in this part of the world should be revisited in the sense that education shouldn't be all about writing, reading, and the core structure of learning, but it should be like a total developmental package for the child.
You know, something you just said resonated with when I was, you know, school hunting for the kids. So we went to do like different schools, and there was just something that struck me about their particular school, which they're in right now. It was the way the children received myself and my husband when we immediately walked into the classroom. These kids were so young. And when they saw it, they were, good Lord, there was so much excitement, with so much vigor. And that was what drew me actually to the school. So what are the things that parents should look out for, you know, when school hunting? Because
looking for a school?
schools,
Yes, so you shouldn't look for a school where they are trying to impress you as a parent. You should look for a school where, and how do you know they're trying to impress you as a parent? Making promises of what they will achieve with your child. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
A school that is, first and foremost, clean, safe, and comfortable for the child. A school where activities are enriched for the child to play and develop cognitively. Research has shown that the child develops best when at a young age experiences are multiples. The child is exposed to experiences that helps the brain to fire, so that the network at that time is able to make a lot of connections. It is those connection making at a very young age that helps cognition, that determines an intelligent child. So the more exposure to real-life activities, working with the hands, relating with others, movement is a huge part of it as well. The more exposure to all of these things, the better developed your child would be. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Prudence. It's always a pleasure having you here on the show with us. Of course, we will continue with you next week as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure, myself.
Always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. We have to go on a quick break now. If there are questions you'd like to ask Prudence, of course, you can reach her on her social media platforms at Mama Hill. Okay, great, fantastic. Yes, we have our entertainment segment coming on next. Stay with us, guys. We'll be right back.
And you are welcome. It is now time for our entertainment segment here, and joining me is, well, hey, call her a media enthusiast, call her a writer, call her an influencer. She's everything all wrapped up in a very beautiful package. Ms. Adako in the house.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you. Did I do well? Do you need more hype?
No, you
enough?
did just fine.
Oh, Grant, good to have you here.
Thank you.
So, entertainment, we always talk very fun topics, and especially everything people have been seeing, but we get to look at it even deeper. Now, that's amateur video there of the concert, but it was fantastic. You can feel the energy even from here. Have you ever been to a Wizkid concert before?
I haven't, and I missed the opportunity to go to a Wizkid concert at one point. Actually, let me take it back. Sometime about 5 years ago, he performed, I believe, at one African Music Fest. It was a I was there. It was a pandemonium. Like it wasn't just him though. It was a whole bunch of artists. Which reminds me, like, big ups to all Afrobeats artists these days.
Oh, yes.
Like, they are doing it. And Wizkid, he is surely a pioneer. I have to say, I'm very proud of him. He is doing big things.
It's like there's no end to what his... I mean,
there
he just
is no end to
achieving one feat after the other, and I'm like, when is this going to stop? Is he ever going to run into a brick wall or anything?
Stops.
I hope he never does. I am, however, a Davido fan, not a Wizkid fan, but I think that he is fantastic.
Oh, okay, I think we can go into a whole diatribe about that.
Let's not.
I'm sorry, but Wizkid is my all-time favorite
I
man.
think he's great as well, don't
Next
get
to
me
Burna
wrong.
Boy, but that's a whole
while he's achieving all of this, there is one person who actually made big news, big headlines last week after he released his album, Mr. Money with Vibes, and I'm talking about none other than Mr. Ashake. Have you listened to the album? What do you think? Review real quick. What's your opinion about this album?
Ashake, I'm slowly getting.
I like the way you said it.
I'm slowly getting into his vibe. I think he has a sound.
Sacrilege.
Slowly.
No.
You know, for me to take on it's like an adoption almost for me with every artist. Like, there has to be something unique about each and every artist that I usually adopt into my system. And I think Ashake is I'm warming up to him.
You're warming up?
Just a little bit.
You are the first person I've met who's warming up to everybody adopts him like
just
that.
A little bit. But I would say that his sound is quite unique. I think if I hear an Ashake sound anywhere, I would identify it.
Oh.
Because, I mean, there is a lot of music out there. As an artist, it's important for you to stand out. It's important for you to have a sound. And I think he does have a sound. And I think it's pretty great.
I'll tell you real quick before we end this segment. The truth about Ashake is that he's evolving Nigerian music. Now, I know that it's a borrowed kind of music because the truth is it's amapiano and all of that.
Yeah.
But he's even making it bigger than what the South Africans make it. And I think that that's a force to reckon with. His style, his videos, his art is very different. Nothing like we've ever seen. And from such a very different kind of person. I mean, it's just, I love the guy. And I will toot that horn anywhere because he's a fantastic artist. But in any case, Mr. Daku, thank you very much for making it on for entertainment today. We absolutely love the fact that you made it here. But
thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome to the kitchen, Daku. So please, we'd like you to taste the meal. Chef Sammy has made for you spicy chicken fusilli pasta stir fry. Right, great. So please have a taste. Let us know what you think about it. And there's some balsamic.
Balsamic reduction.
Looks like
balsamic
vinegar.
reduction. Yeah, there's some vinegar in that as well.
Vinegar and honey.
Ooh, nice. Love it, like it, rate it.
So, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give it a 5+.
Ooh.
Yay, Sammy, congratulations. That's fantastic.
All right.
You can't go with balsamic vinegar.
Oh, nice. All right, Daku is about to go into the meal,
so
but we'll just let her, All right, people, I hope you all had fun watching the show. Thank you to all our guests for being here. And, of course, Chef Sammy, you are welcome. Thank you so much. All right, join us same time tomorrow. It's Wonder Women Wednesday. See you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Catch you guys then.
Bye.